This month we inaugurate the new programming from Noise Party. Well, and we're going to have, as tonight's guests, the Boston Comedy Launch featuring Mike Sweeney, Eric Arnold, The Wrong Hero, Rick DeLay, Gary Goldman, and recorded live at AS220, The Bunyan Five, Just Victor, and as special guest, Old Fuzzy. Noise Party is televised at 9 p.m. Wednesdays on Cambridge Community Television, Channel 66, and is produced by Francis DiMenno. You are tuned to Noise Party.
I'm just going to stand here and introduce the act. All right, cool. All right. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the cafeteria. No matter what you do to it, it's still the cafeteria. We have a fabulous, a fantastic, an amazing, crazy, wacky show for you tonight. Is that a good voice? That's it. And I just want you to have fun and maybe learn something. No, I don't want you to learn anything. Give yourselves a big round of applause for coming out on such a blustery, windy night. That's really, really desperate. And, but I just want to bring up the first act. This guy is, this is a comedy show, and this first guy will be the host. He will bring up all the other acts. He's sort of like the ringmaster, only he doesn't stick his head in a lion at all, as far as I know. Let me bring this guy up. This guy works at Dick Doherty's clubs in Boston, Chicago, and Providence. He is open for Jon Stewart of The Jon Stewart Show. Please welcome Mike Sweeney. Sweeney Dog Sweeney. Over here.
Hey, thanks a lot. Hey, let's readjust the microphone now. There's the trouble with these microphones. So how are we all doing tonight? Okay, come on, it's a forum. So, things going on in the news. They turned off the television set, so we're not watching any OJ for a while. We can talk about him, though, because he's not on. How many of you think it would be a good idea if OJ were actually sentenced to, whatever his prison term, that he'd be forced to watch all the coverage of the OJ Simpson thing throughout every single channel? It'd be great. He'd be like on ABC for a year, and then after a year they'd turn to CBS. And after he ever acted up, it'd be CNN, heavy duty stuff. So that's OJ. Enough stuff going on in the news, you've heard about Jeffrey Dahmer getting killed in prison. He's killed by some people, by some fellow inmates, That prison justice is rough, They actually interviewed the guy who killed him. They were like, so what was going through your head, What I wanted to know was, what were they, hungry, They used they kill another guy for a salad? What was the story on that? I don't know. So big news happened just recently. I finally moved out of my parents' house. Thank you. Now I live in their car. Living in their car is just like living at home, really. It's the same exact thing. Your parents' old shit is taking up what's supposed to be your space, Hey, I don't want these jumper cables. You get this 20-pound bag of rock salt out of here. I don't need this. Hey, get rid of this crummy engine block, will you? I need the room for storage. Just take everything out of the car, except like the cup holder and the radio, Just leave the cement blocks in. Put the bed up on that. So, live out here in Boston. Grew up. Didn't have the best time growing up. High school was a real tough time for me, I had a real bad reputation in high school, I was like this guy who everybody knew was a know-it-all, but I still got shitty grades. So instead of being voted most likely to succeed, I got voted most likely to be a game show contestant. I don't know. I don't want to say that kind of thing. I have problems. What am I doing up here? Enough things going on. Things you see on television a lot. Isn't there enough going on? Like, for example, they have, I studied, I'm out of school now, studied creative writing, so I know what I want to do for a living, I want to be the guy who makes up names for things, like names for television shows. They have this new television show on now called Friends. Isn't that a pretty stupid name? Friends. Is this designed for people who don't have friends? Is that the idea, you know? People who've never been in a friendship before want to know what it's like, you know? It would make sense, right? Friends, sponsored by Matchmaker International. You know, Laura, what's her name? Courtney Cox is on that show, right? You know what was the other show she was on? Family Ties, exactly. That's another show with a really stupid name. In fact, the most inappropriately named show ever. You know why? The kids on that show lived at home until they were well out of college. Family Ties, I had to call that show Free Rent. Not Family Ties, Free Rent, you know? I think they could come up with, and if I couldn't get a job making up names for shows, I'd like to be the guy who announces the cases on the People's Court, because he comes up with the names for them, you know? What a great job this would be like. I'd love to do this. We'll return for the case of how much of that doggy's in the windshield right after this. Oh, man, you know? Television's gotten to such a bad point now. It's just like we're waiting around for the latest trend to happen, you know? And Robin Leach and Geraldo Rivera, like, they're in hiding. I think they're coming up with their next big thing, right? So I figure it's going to be like this. You know, Robin Leach, they had Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, right? And then when that got boring, they had Run Away with the Rich and Famous. What do you think's next? I got an idea. How about Ransom the fucking Rich and Famous, okay? Take them hostage, for crying out loud. And Geraldo Rivera, he's fun too. He's done every single genre on television except home shopping. Can you imagine what it'd be like if Geraldo Rivera had a home shopping show? Because he always talks about lurid, shocking, disgusting things on television. He most likely sell them to you. This is my idea of what it'd be like. Today, you too can own and wear the bra made of human skin once worn by psychopathic murderer Ed Gein on his ghoulish, grave-robbing rampages which shocked a small Wisconsin town. Now it can be sold. Also on today's program, she was the inspiration behind the movie Star 80. At the age of 26, Dorothy Stratton's Playboy fame became her tragic legacy. On today's program, that tragic legacy is up for bids. Pictures from Dorothy Stratton's last photo shoot before she was brutally slain by her jealous boyfriend. Now it can be sold. Thank you. You guys like impressions? Okay, thank you for playing along. Hey, we'll give out prizes later for who can make the most noise, I guess. It won't be me, I can tell you that much. I'm like a competition over there. I got an impression for you. This is fun. I love doing this. This is my impression of what it would be like if Bill Cosby were a pizza delivery boy. Now, you know this will never happen in real life because the man's stinking rich, but here goes. Bill Cosby now as a pizza delivery boy. Comes up to your door, you know. Here's your pizza. Thank you. It's that simple. Thank you so much. So I'm looking for work right now. Fun things to do when you're looking for work, because it gets really boring after a while, you know, filling out the same application again and again. Here's a fun thing to do when it says, how many words do you type a minute? Just lie your head off. Give them some ridiculous figure, like 160 words a minute, right? And then tell me count as a word, you know? And then, underneath that, where it says, list what other office machines you know how to operate, put down semi-automatic weapons. And at the interview, you can just say, well, hey, they had them in my office. What do you mean? Come on, you don't have them here? Jeez. The part I hate about that filling out the application is the part that says, list what your physical disability is. Because I have one. I'm legally blind. It's real obvious. But you don't want to put down the term legally. You don't want to put the word blind down anywhere, you know? Modifier or no. That's not what people want to see on a form, right? It sucks. So like, because it doesn't really explain, you know, whether you can in fact see. That's my situation. So a lot of people don't understand that I can see a little bit, just not very well. So they're like sitting across the table from me, like 2 feet away. They're going, can you see my hand? Can you see my face? I'm like, well, you know, really I'm not allowed to see anything at all, so just, you know, stop that. Just, they'll yank my T-pass, you know, if they find out that I can see something. So anyway, hey, I've entertained one person, it seems like. And, oh, what was the other bit? Oh, just this bit. I have a, you know, my vision problem, which I was just telling you about, is obvious. And the problem is it's obvious to, well, it's obvious to women, for one thing, so that, you know, is bad. And it's also obvious to idiots. You know, and this is one group of people you don't want to have to sit around and explain complex medical procedures to, you know. And these people see me coming along and they think, just looking at me, they have the answer to my problem. Oh, hey, can't you get glasses? No, you know. I'm like really nice about it. I'm like, well, you know, this is my situation. I've had cataracts from birth. Glasses don't improve that condition at all, do anything for it. But this doesn't work. Well, can't you get special glasses? Special glasses. Apparently, I'm not doing enough research, you know. I could be seeing 10 times better. It's just I'm not putting forth the effort. It's so annoying. It's like, this is like, it's all my attitude that's in the way, you know. Can you imagine? I could just see these people coming up to somebody, you know, in a wheelchair and going, oh, what are you, paralyzed? You know what, you should be on crutches. You know? I'm sure they might, don't they have, you should get up on those special crutches they've got, you know? Come on, you really should get up and like exercise, you know? Come on, do some leg lifts. Come on. What do you mean you can't move the muscles in your legs? Christ, what a negative attitude. You'll never get on your feet that way. Well, you guys are starting to, you're going to be a pretty good crowd, I think. So consider that. Let's give yourselves a big round of applause here, okay? And get things moving. Great. And, hey. No help from you. Anyway, I'm going to bring up our first comedian for you. Are you ready? Yeah. Well, okay, great. Let me put this up here. I'm going to learn how to work a microphone stand tonight. I can never do it without all kinds of noise. Anyway, your first comedian is, I don't know. I was going to tell you some rules about tonight's show, like, you know, don't talk an awful lot, but I guess it's not really worth, you know, mentioning. Your first comedian tonight comes to you from a good deal of performing around the Boston area. He performs regularly at the various Nick's comedy clubs in and around Boston. And he's also open for, among other people, Mark Price, who, as many of you may know, played Skippy on Or Free Rent. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned and welcome Eric Arnold to the stage. Eric Arnold, here we go.
Oh, it's good to be here, to see all 12 of you here. It's good. But, no, actually, I was on my way here. I was going over by BU. I passed by a BU dorm on the way here. And I noticed all the students there were gathered around the TV set. I don't know why. You know what it turns out? It turns out they're all watching Get Smart. They thought it would help. I don't know what it was. But you know, a lot of new faces here tonight and so on and so forth. And the thing about, you know, stand-up is when you first start out, they send you off to places like New Hampshire, Maine. You know, it really sucks. It's really hard to get work around here. And the thing that sucks about doing shows up there is, you know, every time the audience laughs or smiles, you can count the teeth. That's it. Grand total this one night was 13 and a half. Scary. Okay. So, but no, it's good to be back here. I was actually home visiting my family for a couple weeks there, and you know, I love them and all, but the problem is I had to fly home. Okay, flying freaks the hell out of me. I hate it. So what I like to do is I like to get drunk on the plane. Right? So you can chill out, relax, you know. But as soon as I got to the gate of this flight, I knew I could never get a drink on this plane. You know why? Big letters painted on the side of the plane, A.A. I'm never getting a drink on this plane, okay? And I was sick from that meal for like a week. Well, the plane crashed on the way. It was the first time I'd really ever eaten human, so it was difficult. Yeah, you're right, that was in bad taste. So, the first thing I did when I got back here to town, though, is I plunked down on my couch, turned on the stereo, and I'm listening to, you know, all the old bands from the 70s and 80s always had one person that emerged and became successful. Like you had Sting from the Police, became real big. Peter Gabriel out of Genesis. Annie Lennox became really big out of Eurythmics. The Indian from the Village People. Yeah. No, I'm serious. I mean, he's an Indian. He owns a casino now. He's doing real well for himself. So I turned off the stereo, turned on the TV, and I turned on one of those tacky news programs like A Current Affair or something like that, you know. And they're talking about Jeffrey Dahmer being killed. You know, Mike was talking about that earlier. And just to prove how tacky it is, okay, fade in on the news reporter, if you want to call it news. And he says, "Good evening. Tonight we focus on Jeffrey Dahmer's killer, a man who took a bite out of crime." And, you know, I'm thinking that's in bad taste too, you know, that's just really awful. So I turned off that, I switched to ER, you know, this new TV show on NBC, it's supposedly doing, you know, somebody likes it. And You know, actually, it's becoming so popular that they've already actually sold the syndication rights to it. Done, gone. You know who they sold them to? MTV. Dead serious. Next fall, first show you see, ER Unplugged. Come on, folks. Unplugged. See, there we go. See, is it asking too much if you're a frickin' med student before coming to the comedy show? Okay. So, anyway, but you know, for every good thing on TV, like you know, ER, what's the bad thing? You know, commercials, right? For example, somebody please tell me what the hell is going on with this frickin' Mentos commercial, all right? Okay, every single commercial, someone commits a crime and they get away with it just by going, Mentos. I mean, this one guy hijacks a car in the middle of New York City, and just as the driver's about to freak out, hey buddy, chill, Mentos. I mean, you know the next commercial is going to be some guy who walks into the post office, the line's too long, so he freaks out, guns everybody down, steps over the heaps of gushing bodies to the postal clerk. Chill, man. No, there's no problem. Mentos, see, look. And the reason the line was so long in the first place is that 32-cent stamps. You see this other commercial, you got Linda Carter for Lens Express. You know, she tells us, use Lens Express and make your lives a whole lot easier. And she tells us about all these great times she's used Lens Express, how she's had contact lenses shipped to her in 24 hours or less. I want to know from this lady, how many pairs of lenses is it going to take? No, you can go, get the fuck out of here. I want to know how many pairs of lenses is it going to take before this lady can see that she's never going to find another acting job as long as life exists on this planet. Okay, folks? Linda Carter. She hasn't worked since like the Carter administration, I guess. I smell nepotism, folks. Right, you know, I feel I should apologize to people for this haircut. I'm sorry, I just got this a week ago. I used to have long hair, you know, and as soon as I got home, my roommate said to me, you know, with your hair short like that, your nose looks bigger. I'm thinking I should shave my pubic hair. And some more cosmetic things. While I was home, I had my wisdom teeth taken out. This sucks. Never do this, all right? But there's a good thing about it here, okay? For that whole week after the operation, okay, I have swelling, pain, bleeding. I finally understand what it feels like to be a woman, I guess. Thanks, I hope that's not an indication of where we're going. I don't know, but I finally moved into a place of my own, thank God, and that's cool, moving out of the house. And the problem is, though, is I thought that it would be great because I live under my own rules, I'd be able to cook for myself. One thing I learned about cooking, I suck. All right? For example, when you're cooking spaghetti, how do you know when it's done? Anybody? Throw it against the wall. If it sticks, you know it's... You want to know how many weeks it took me to figure out you're not supposed to throw the whole frickin' pot of spaghetti against the wall? And so then I decided I really need to learn how to cook here. So I had my mom send me a bunch of her old recipes. And I decided I'm going to make some chicken. I'm going to have a bunch of dinner guests over. Now, so I got my dinner guests on the way. I've got my dead chicken in the pan, and I'm looking at this recipe, and right away I'm confused. You know what? I see step one: bone the chicken. Yeah. Pick up on this anytime, folks. Okay. But I don't know, that whole evening was just a big sticky mess, I guess. Come to think of it, I eat it right. Yeah, you're right, that joke was really foul. I'm sorry. Alright, folks, it helps if you know the vocabulary before coming to the comedy show too, folks, alright? So, well, before I get out of here, I'm going to ask you people a couple of stupid little questions, because I'm a pathetic loser. I sit around and I think of these things. Question number one. I don't know, let's think of something. How about this program, Microsoft Excel? You seen this for computers, Microsoft Excel? Is Excel only for overweight people? Come on, folks, Excel, XL. It's nice if you have degrees in linguistics before we come to the comedy show, too. Let's see. How did they find John Bobbitt's dick before a raccoon did? Did he have blowjack installed in there? Is that how it works? Imagine poor cop's walking through the field, first thing he finds is a cute little raccoon with a penis hanging out of his mouth. He's going, come on, here boy. Drop that penis. Chief, I found the raccoon with a penis in its mouth. What do I do? This is the chief. I copy. Blow its head off. Well, you folks are quick. Why can't President Clinton just do the world a favor and wear sweatpants when he goes jogging? Isn't that kind of embarrassing? We got a president prancing around our nation's capital on G-string. This is just not cool. Yes, undergarment, G-string. Thank you. And a final question before I go. I figure I'll ask you folks this. Why do old people get a 50% discount at the movie theaters? Is it because they can only see or hear half the movie anyway? Is that how it works? Hey, Elvin, thanks very much. You've been a lovely audience. My name's Eric Arnold. Thanks for coming by.
Eric Arnold. He's pretty good with this mic stand, I guess. So who's the chicken bone around the audience there? I heard that. Somebody said it reminds me of somebody. Did I hear that? Oh, well, I don't know. Well, we're going to keep this show going right along so that you don't feel like you're missing anything, okay? So, oh, by the way, I want to tell you something about Eric, though. He's also going to be performing next at Boston University and also at Nick's Comedy Stops and various other Nick's locations. So go on out and see him, okay? Let's see, our next person who's coming to the stage right now appears every Monday night on Cambridge cable television, and he's also done shows at the Holy City Zoo, Catch a Rising Star, and AS220 in Providence, among other places. And he's currently going to be, he's got a show that he's hosting in the works, so that's coming along as well. And we're really glad we could have him today. Ladies and gentlemen, Francis DiMenno, also known as the Wrong Hero. Let's give it up for him.
Nice to work a college crowd. Last time I worked a college, let's see, it was out in the boondocks. They had big signs which read, "Please do not spit chewing tobacco into the drinking fountains." Gives you, somehow I don't think that you need signs like that around here, and that's good. I'm the wrong hero. People say I'm judge, jury, and executioner. And needless to say, I don't get much sleep holding 3 jobs. You like this? I wanted to get an Armani, couldn't manage it. This is just a cheap device, you know, fat man in a dress, always good for a laugh. On the way over here I was thinking, everything is coming my way. That's because I was driving on the wrong side of the Mass Pike. Well, at least I saved 50 cents. I get pulled over by policemen a lot. Maybe it's the mask. I don't know. But every time I get pulled over by a policeman, I like to play a little game. It's called Nice Victim, Mean Victim. And it goes something like this. Top of the morning to you, officer. Sure, and what's a police captain like you doing a pound in the beat? You were going 70 miles an hour in reverse in a school zone. Can I see your license and registration? May I ask, why were you going so fast? Oh, it's very simple, officer. I was pretending the accelerator was a policeman's head because I was sucking on a cube of LSD and I wanted to get home before I melted. Officer Coffee and Donuts sitting and picking your ass in Dunkin' Donuts at 4 in the morning? Sir? And he said, we'll let it go this time. See it doesn't happen again. I hear you like impressions. There's a rumor going around to that effect, right? You like impressions? Okay. This is a speedometer. A speedometer. Thank you. I broke up with my girlfriend. Not hard to believe, is it? on Valentine's Day in front of her family and closest friends. But I tried to let her down easy. I said to her, "Baby, every time I make love to you, I see God. And he told me to stop going out with you." All my friends are having kids now. They all have kids. I spend a lot of time with them watching their kids. And I think I've figured out something very important about children, babies. I think I've figured out what babies are saying when they're crying. What are babies trying to communicate when they cry? Simple, really. What they're saying is, "Wah! Look at my screaming face. Stop having fun." Yeah, all my friends are having children. They're always bragging about how cute they are, how bright they are. What do I have to brag about? I left some ejaculate on a handkerchief last night, and it smelled like a petunia. Uh-oh. Well, you know what? That wasn't a very good joke to tell, was it? I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm just not very bright, you know? I have stupid hemorrhages because I'm not smart enough to have cerebral ones, I guess. I glued my balls together because I figured if you can't lick them, join them. I know, I'm a little on the heavy side here. Well, it's my family, my whole family, especially my father. My father was a meat and potatoes man. His arms were made of French fries and his legs were made of steak. And I'd look at him and say, "What kind of nightmare world is this you've brought me into, Father?" Okay, I'm gonna liven things up a little.
Don't get string now.
Don't get string. Marshmallow. Oh, yes, oh. Oh. You can tell just from looking at me that I'm a tough guy. A tough guy. But I have a sentimental side, too. I went to my high school reunion, and I went to see where I had carved my initials years ago. But the gym coach was wearing a toupee, so I lost out. I had a job writing children's books, but I got fired for using the word poop. And they didn't like my masterpiece, Winnie the Shit. Sometimes I go to restaurants and the waiter insists on introducing himself to me by name. "My name is Geraldo. Today's special, the braised rack of lamb." Well, in these circumstances, I like to say, "My name is Feed Me and Live. I've been waiting for 45 minutes. I went to college. You wouldn't know it to look at me. And I learned 4 things in college. I spent $80,000 and I learned 4 things. How to drink lukewarm cappuccino and vodka without getting sick. How to eat Lipton tea straight from the foil packet. How to say in 500 words, which was what was never worth saying at all. And best of all, how to say, "I know exactly what you mean," instead of, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about. $80,000 to learn this. Give me the money. I'll teach you that in 5 seconds, all right?" I learned everything in college except how to find a job, which is really too bad. You know, I get to the interview point and they ask all these hardball questions. They save them just for me. Like, what's the best job you ever had? And I like to say, throwing gasoline onto fires. Not a job, really, more like a hobby. And I have the scorched eyebrows to prove it. And they say, name 2 weaknesses of your former boss. And I like to say, oh, that's easy. Neck and kneecaps. Finally, the big question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Have you ever had anybody ask you this? You will, don't worry. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I say, that's a very interesting question. I'll have to think about it for a second. Okay, here goes. I see me in a stretch limo with a foxy whore on either arm, drinking Courvoisier from a Dixie cup, my fists dripping with fuck you money. And I see you on a street corner, your coat covered in snot and vomit, drinking Old Spice from a paper bag, handing out watchtowers to peace officers, and shaking your fist at me as I leave you in a cloud of my dust. And then they say, we were considering you for an entry-level position, but we think you have what it takes to be middle management. I'm the wrong hero. If you have any comments about my show, write them on a $20 bill and see me afterwards.
Hey, Francis DiMenno, a.k.a. the wrong hero. Let's hear it for him one more time. A little louder, please. Thank you so much, so we can hear you in the front, as it were. Is that the comfort zone back there? You know, you're comfortable watching comics at like what, 30 paces, is it? Like you're gonna draw, you know? Something weird like that. So you guys having fun? I'm having fun. I enjoyed that. I hope you did too. A couple of things real quick. So I'm like, they just opened up I live up over on Westland Ave, and they just opened up a bread and circus up there. You guys ever been there? Yeah? You guys like shopping at Bread and Circus? I don't. I'm not into Bread and Circus. I like Stop and Shop better, you know? Thing is, though, not only do they have regular Stop and Shops, they have an extra large. They have Super Stop and Shop. Ooh. You know, I think that's not such a good idea. They shouldn't have such things as Super Stop and Shop. You know, they're just too damn big. You know, when it gets beyond regular Stop and Shop size, they should call it Stop and Think. You know, because at Super Stop and Shop, you will actually run across food products that straddle the borderline between food groups. You know? My personal favorite is meat cheese snack dip log. Thank you. You guys, I'll do another, I don't know. Do another quick impression for you. Guys like, oh, never mind. I'm not sure how exactly to work my way into it. But guys like the Smiths, British rock at all? No takers. Ah, the hell with it. No, I think you're laughing, so I'm going to stick with it now that I've dug myself into the whole part way. Why not go all the way? Okay. Like Morrissey a lot. He's awesome, in my opinion. Because, you know, I've had a miserable life, and I think I identify with him, you know, or he identifies with me. He has a much better voice, though. He's the kind of guy who, no matter how up-tempo the music was, no matter how bouncy, he was always depressed. I was looking for a job, and then I found a job, and heaven knows I'm miserable now. Oh, man. You know, I can't wait for this to happen. I think Morrissey's going to sell out real soon, you know? I don't know what he's doing these days, but I think pretty soon we're going to watch him. He'll be like doing product endorsements for regular American products, you know. Wake up one morning, see, and now here's Morrissey for Bounce Static Sheets, you know. Static cling is bad, and static cling can stop you from doing all the laundry live you'd like to. So ask me, Ask me, ask me, ask me, because if it's not love, then it's the bounce, the bounce, the bounce, the bounce, the bounce, the bounce that keeps you from sticking together. Thank you. Well, hey, far be it from me to cut in on my own applause like that, but that's it's a regular happening with me. Let's bring up our next comedian. He is, we're very delighted to have him here. You guys are going to enjoy him an awful lot. He's been on a number of television events, so forth. Performs at comedy clubs all over Boston, colleges as well, so you might have seen him here, you might have seen him at other places, if you went to other colleges, I don't know. Just got back from doing a whole string of clubs down in Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very glad to have him here. Please welcome Rick D'Elia to the stage. Rick D'Elia, here he comes.
Thanks, Mike.
Rick D'Elia, keep it going, okay.
Sween Dog, folks. Keep it going for the Sween Dogs. Did the whole show for us today. Sween Dog and Eric, Arnold, and Shazam. We've had some great performers here tonight. It's fun. And I got to tell you something right up front. I'm one of the comics. I like to work with people, so if you have anything to say to me at any point during the show, holler it up, and we can get some good repartee going, okay? How's that? You can agree with that? Do you guys have a nice Valentine's Day? No? Why? You're not in love? Who's in love here out of the group of you young, lovely ladies are? You're not in love with anybody? What is, you are? You're in love? Oh, what is love? Define it for me. Can you do that? You never, I mean, for some people it's just those three little words. I'll pull out, you know, but for, you know, maybe for some people, you know, for other people, love is never having to say, thanks, can I get a receipt for that? But, you know, you never know, you know. So you are in love. You're No, we just left together the once, you know, he left the money on the dresser, and, you know, he never called, like he said, it was not love, you know, it was the Goldschlager talking, woo! What's your name? Crystal? Kristen, it's very nice to meet you, Kristen. My name is Rick, so that's wonderful. So, how about you guys? Any of you guys in love? It's Valentine's week, so I gotta tell some. Everyone's playing, oh, yeah, you got your legs crossed too. You must have just got it. Woo! Are you in love? And what's your suitor's name? Sal? Sal, that's a man's name. Sal. He's Italian, isn't he? Just a little bit? A little bit Italian, a little bit what? Oh, wait, now when you say your boyfriend's just a little bit, okay, I mean, I'm Italian, and I mean, you know, well, hey, pasta baloo, baby, you know. That's one. Are you and Sal, how long have you and Sal been going out with each other? That's a long time. You engaged? You gonna be getting married? No? No. How did you know when it was love? Maybe the first time you farted in front of him? Was that it? Was that, yeah, that would be the good one. Like the covered wagon when you're in bed, you pull the sheets over. Woo! Sorry about that, honey, I love you. Okay, I'm just thinking about my relationships. I've already taken this right into the gutter. Anyone ever get caught, okay, having sex by the parents? Have you? You did? Well, how'd it happen? How old were you? 18 years old, and you're now, what, 19, 20? 22. 22? My God. And so how'd it happen? Where were you?
They said they were coming home at 11.
They said they were coming home at 11. They came home at 10:59. I just started a minute before that. Did it twice, though. I remember... First time, and my parents caught me, this is true, 13 years old. 13. I was 24 at the time, but she was 13 years old. I grew up out in Western Mass, out in the Berkshires. Any of you guys from out there, that part of the state? Yeah? Adams? Have you heard of Adams? You heard of the place? I grew up in a town just south of Adams called Cheshire. We had like 300 people in my entire town, zip code E-I-E-I-O. I'm telling you, very small. My high school prom song was Jimmy Crack Corn. Are you kidding me? I didn't care, really. No, not at all. It's the town that invented the slow children sign. That was our big claim to fame out there. Thanks for getting that. Thanks for playing along. I now live in Austin, because that's how much cash I have, really. I'm in that income level where I can live right up the street in Austin. You guys familiar with it? very wonderful part of town. I have 4 roommates, and I have to, but guys, our slobs we're unbelievable slobs. So many dishes piled up in the sink by Tuesday we're forced to drink out of measuring cups, you know what I mean? It's nasty. There's so much hair in the bottom drain of my shower. It looks like there's a chia pet living down there, folks. It's nasty, but it's true. You ever get in the shower? Come on, it's a gross thing, but we all do. You ever step in the shower and there's hair down there, and you have to remove the hair because the water's starting to come up and you don't want to touch it? And you're looking at it and you're like, oh, that might not be mine. So you just kind of kick it away and then it gets stuck on your foot. Then you're in the shower like, And then the hair just disappears and water goes down the drain. You don't have any idea where the hair went to because it just stuck away. Then like at 1 o'clock that afternoon, you're just walking along and you're like, what the hell is this? Anyways, that's... college is fun. I went to school at, I graduated from, you're laughing, you've done that before, haven't you? She's just like, oh yeah, that reminds me. Oh yeah. So I went to school at UMass out in Amherst. Can't, because I got like 600 combined on my SAT, so I was a shoo-in, you know, big quality school that is out there. It was a very fun place. Big drinking school, that was. You know, is Northeastern a big party school? Is it? You're shaking your head no. A couple of you guys shaking your head yes. The ones who said yes, may I remind you, we're in a den Thursday night. So not that that's bad. This is fun. I don't drink anymore. I drank a lot. My God, I drank a lot in college. I really did. I remember my parents telling me, son, if you've ever had too much to drink, no matter where you are, no matter what time of night it is, you call us, because we don't want you to drink it. So I tried them out on this, my second, no, it was my 3rd freshman year. That's what it was. Thanks. It was very late one night. I was at a phone booth, hammered, buck naked. And I got my dad and I'm like, hi, Dad. I'm wicked cock. You come pick me up? Where am I? I'm in Cancun, Mexico. Gotta go. So the next day, I gotta place the same phone call, right? I'm like, hi, Mom. Dad and I are wicked cocked in Mexico. So my mom actually came down, and that's where she met my stepfather, Pablo, so that worked out well for everyone. I got this vest out of the deal, so I was pretty happy about that. Oh, I've done some crazy things, though, drinking. That's why I don't do it anymore. One night, I drank so much when I was in college. I went out with the guys, we went to a tattoo parlor. I choked. I wound up getting a tattoo of a barcode. Next day, I ran over the scanner at the Stop and Shop. Turns out my father was right all along. I'm worthless, so I found that out, you know. It was a harsh realization here, so. We having fun so far? I kind of want to get dirty, but I've been instructed that I shouldn't, so I won't. But I got to tell you one thing. I just have to tell you, this won't be dirty, but this is true. This is a fact. Women, you should probably know this, and the 2 or 3 guys are here. I'm not giving away secrets of ours, but it's kind of scummy, but this is true. All men, every guy in the world, I don't care who your boyfriend is, Sal has the same thing. Every guy keeps a running list of all the women that he's ever slept with. Some lists are small, some lists are big, but we have to keep this list because we have horrible memories and huge egos, so we need the list for future references or what have you. And here's how you can recognize that he's laughing because he knows. Here's how you can find a sheet of paper wherever, you know, a guy would probably hide stuff, and you'll see a bunch of names on the paper, and it usually starts off, it'll be like Sally, Jennifer, chick from the Cape. Girl from Maine, girl from Maine's cousin. If you're a stud, you know, girl from Maine and cousin. You know, if you're from Maine, just cousin. Thank you. That's nasty. That's nasty, but it's true, man. It is really true. Anyway, it's almost time for me to get out of here. So, and what's your name? The one who's going out with Sal? Trisha? So, if you guys ever do get married, elope. Are you Catholic? They're the worst weddings. They last like 8 days. They really are. Do you guys go to a lot of weddings? You know, they're horrible. Have you ever, the funniest thing, though, I've ever seen at any wedding, watch this on a videotape, or next time you go to a wedding, check this out. At the wedding reception, they have this little thing. It's called the bouquet of flowers toss, and whoever catches the flowers is going to be the next one to get married. So they take all the single women and the bridesmaids, and they line them up, and the women compete like it's the goddamn Olympic Games. I swear to God, they stand there, they're like, good luck, Nadia. You too, Olga. And the second the flowers hit the air, it looks like a flock of pigeons going for a french fry in McDonald's parking lot. It doesn't, get it over, I got the flowers, back up, you're all flat. It's true, the war is so nasty. I went to a wedding about a month and a half ago. The bridesmaid who caught the flowers, I'm convinced had been a bridesmaid a million times before, because it was already noon. The woman had already shoveled down like 15 shots of whiskey. She had mashed potatoes caught in her little mustache. Yeah, nasty, because we didn't even have mashed potatoes that day at the reception. It was, oh, yeah. You should have seen the guys lining up to catch that garter belt. Are you kidding me? Looked like a game of hot potato. The guys were like, no, no, no! Oh, damn, I got the garter belt. I don't want it. She's huge. Nasty, but it's true. So, anyone have any questions thus far in my little act in which I haven't used the F word yet? Oh, I'm not done. I'm going to keep going. This guy's taking pictures. Man, let me get my little weenie out. No questions? Nothing? I'm telling you, I'm funny as hell when you guys say shit, but, you know, I mean, I won't bury anyone, because I really do have to get out of here in about a minute or two. Can I tell you one or two more nasty jokes? Yeah? Clean? I'll keep them clean. We'll keep them funny. Any Italians here? Besides your boyfriend, Sal? Where is Sal tonight? Home? Does he go to school here? Oh, I'm going to be heading out that way. You want to lift? I'm serious. I'm going to Pine Manor, which is right down the road from Boston College. You can surprise him. Sal, let's get... Who the hell is she? No, I'm sorry. He's probably... If he's anything like me, that's exactly what he's doing. No, let me leave you this. Some of you guys might have heard this. I don't know how long you guys have been in school, but last spring, right on Commonwealth Ave here, right by Boston University, there was a nasty car accident, and this woman had her arm completely severed off of her body. And the first person there was a kid who went to BU, and he ran right over, helped the woman out of the car, and grabbed hold of her artery and pinched the thing for like 20 minutes until the ambulance got there and wound up saving her life. And so the reporters for the Globe and Herald were on the scene. They're like, that's a miracle. You're just a young BU student. How'd you know how to do this? And the kid goes, well, that's what you're supposed to do with the keg tap when it's leaking. You know where I can get any weed? No, I actually want to know if you guys know where I can get any weed. But I'll tell you one last joke, and this would have to be the greatest Valentine's present that I've ever received in my life. And I'm going to have to word this as gently as possible, so bear with me if the setup is a little elongated. Men have certain fantasies, and the number one fantasy would probably be to be with, you know, more than one, you know, woman, definitely more than one woman, or more than one man, whatever. And the second fantasy would be to receive in the car. And I finally, last Valentine's Day, I finally convinced my girlfriend to in the car while we were driving, and we got into an accident. And I probably shouldn't have let her drive. I guess that was the mistake right there. I've gone over my limit. I hope I still get paid. I hope you guys like me. My name is Rick D'Elia. Back to Mike Sweeney. Thank you very much.
Rick D'Elia one more time. Hey, wasn't he awesome? Did a great job there. That's awesome. Yeah, well, Rick will be performing shortly at Pine Manor College, so we don't want to keep him too long. But we're really glad we could have him down. Let's see. A couple of quick thoughts that I could tell you about real quick here. You know, I was telling you earlier that I want to come up, I want to be able to make up names for things. You know, I want to be a nomenclature consultant. I thought that up. You know, I think hairstyling salons are pretty goofy. They ought to come up with some weird names. There's a place right here in Boston called Hair Architects. Does that sound too corny for Boston? Okay. There's a place down in Rhode Island called Hair Architects, and I wonder what that's all about. It's like, what do they use, blueprints when they do their coif, you know? I like to walk into Hair Architects, say, yeah, I'd like a Greek revival haircut, please. You know, put little pillars on either side of my face or something, you know? Nice cornice on the top. I'll walk out later, somebody walks up to me, what is that on your head? Is that the Parthenon? What's that? I don't know. So, thank you for receiving that one. Bye, bye, Rick. Okay. You didn't get paid. Oh, okay. He's collecting it. All right. I don't have any comeback for that. I'll just bring up our next comedian, folks, and you're going to like him as well. This guy performs with me, among other places, at the various Dick Doherty clubs, the Comedy Vault, which will be appearing at very shortly, in a week, February 25th. No, Is it February 20th? March 5th. March 5th. I'm not reading the card, never mind. And he's a very funny guy. You're going to like him an awful lot. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gary Gulman to the stage. Here he is.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, too much OJ stuff on TV. You can't get away from it. I'm so sick of it. All that stuff with that. What was with that highway chase in the Bronco? What was with that chase? It was like a bad episode of Chips. I turned on Nightline and Ponch and John were chasing OJ up and down the LA freeway. I was like, oh, I've never seen this episode before. This is good stuff. So what else? I went to it almost looked like I was in action there. You're a good crowd. You're a good, yes you are. Yes you're a good crowd. I spent the day with my 9-month-old niece and I'm like turning into a, you're a good girl. I don't know what's the matter with me. So I went to 7-Eleven today. You know they now serve cappuccino at 7-Eleven? Ah, that gourmet coffee emporium, 7-Eleven. It's good to know I can get a big gulp cappuccino. Yeah, you drink a 64-ounce cappuccino, you'll be awake for the next 7-Eleven weeks. Getting so fancy down there, I had to have my slush steward recommend a fine Slurpee. You know, something robust yet cold. Something that goes well with chicken. That's because she's laughing. Tell your friends. Very good. So I tried to find a parking space outside of the L, and all the spaces have those signs. It says no parking. Violators will be towed at owner's expense. I love how they mention that. They point that out, that they're not going to pay for it. Like there's another version of this sign that says violators will be towed, but it's on us. Just don't let it happen again, you silly goose. We know you meant to put it on. Get out of here. Don't pick up your car. Well, what else? The weather is terrible. The weather is. I was in Miami, and when I was in Miami probably a month ago, they were having a hurricane, Hurricane Gordon. Don't you love how they name all the hurricanes, give them all a cute little name? I think that's helpful, you know. Hurricane Steve, Hurricane Dave, you know. I think this is helpful. Some of the names aren't that scary, though. Have you noticed this? Like Hurricane Stewart. I'm not afraid of a hurricane named Stewart. I had a cousin, Stewart. We used to beat the crap out of him. What's Hurricane Stewart going to do? Rearrange the furniture in a really bad way? Oh, geez, Stewart, I can't believe you put the ottoman over there. My gosh. You know what? They should have scary names, like Hurricane Nick. You know? Hurricane Nick sounds like a really scary storm. Hurricane Nick sounds like he'll not only destroy your house, he'll drink all the beer in your fridge. You know what I mean? He's kick your cat on the way out. He's Hurricane Nick. My God. Oh, and there's the woman who got the obstructed view. Of all the spaces, you gotta sit behind the pole. It's special. I'm gonna comedy from the corner of the stage. I stand over here, you can't even see me. That is fantastic. So what else? You know, when they give the weather on TV, have you noticed they're always giving me information I don't need? Like the barometric pressure, the high pressure, the low pressure. I don't need this information. I don't understand it. What I need to know is, what should I wear tomorrow? You know what I mean? That will make a good forecast. Tomorrow it'll be t-shirt with a slight chance of windbreaker. Wednesday, partly wool coat, changing to umbrella and mucklucks. I said mucklucks. Thanks, I'll be here for the next 7 minutes. Thanks. You're a good crowd. Yes, you. Tell me if this is funny. I did this to my niece today. She's 8 months old. Tell me if this is funny. Nothing. Not funny at all. So what else? I hate when I went to college. I went to Harvard for a sweatshirt, and I figured $58. It's like I'm alumnus, you know. It's wonderful. But actually, I went to college, and the worst thing about college, I think, is waking up for classes. The classes aren't that bad. You can fall asleep in the class. It's the waking up for class that I couldn't stand. With that alarm clock, I must have hit that snooze button like 30 times every morning. You know what I mean? What does it give you? 9 more minutes? To me, 9 minutes is not a snooze. 9 minutes is the time it takes me to get back to sleep after my alarm goes off, okay? 90 minutes, that's a snooze. And you lie to yourself every time you hit that thing, don't you? Oh yeah, I can't lift my head off the pillow right now, but 9 minutes from now I'll be able to run a friggin' marathon. Yeah, right. But I think the lying starts the night before when you're setting that alarm clock for some ungodly hour, you know, trying to wake up early. Get your act together, you know, like you're Donald Trump. But you're lying to yourself. You're lying, oh yeah, I'm gonna wake up at 5:30, I'm gonna go eat breakfast, I'm gonna go work out, I'm gonna read The Firm, go see Schindler's List, catch up on my algebra homework. I'll be an hour early for class. Right. But you're lying to yourself, because when that alarm goes off, the only thing you're thinking is, okay, what's the latest I can wake up and still make my noon? Okay? Funny stuff. That wickety, wacky snooze alarm, ladies and gentlemen. Brought to you by Gary. Thank you. Oh, does anybody like me? She likes me. Very good. The Den. The Den was actually where Mike Brady did all his work on the Brady Bunch. The Den. He also used to cuss out Greg in The Den. I thought that was important. What else? I watch TV a lot. I watch a lot of cartoons, you know? And I watch the cartoons, right? And then at the end, they give the credits, right? They give the credits. And they give the voices and everything. And then they say, directed by, like, Bob Miller. Directed by. That always killed me, you know, that there was a director for cartoons. All I could picture is some guy with a beret and a megaphone going, all right, cut! Coyote, look, you're taking 3 steps, boom, the anvil falls in your head. Roadrunner, you're coming in from the right. You're counting to 3, and then it's meep. Thank you. I'm Gary Gulman. Good night. You've been wonderful. You've been fantastic. You've been about $25, and
All of 25. Thank you. Keep it going for Gary Goldman, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, let's hear it. Gary Goldman. That's his name. And he will be performing, as I said, not too long ago, March 5th at Dick Doherty's Comedy Bowl. See, there's Nicks and there's Dicks, and that's the way it is in the comedy biz, ladies and gentlemen. How many gentlemen do we have out there? Who's this? I needed to appoint a census taker, apparently, because like I said, I can't see out there that far. You know, this isn't comfortable, like, comedy distance for me, but it's okay. Okay, well, I've rambled on enough. Our next comedian, we are really happy to have. You're going to love her a lot, and I'm looking forward to watching her work her comedy magic for you right here. She's all over the place. She works at all the clubs in Boston. She's hosted the Three Stooges Marathon on TV 38. She also has a role, I don't know what size of a role, but it's in the forthcoming Karate Kid movie. So we're working with a gal with some movie credits behind her. She's sitting right over there behind the pole. You can't see her, but ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carrie Louise right here.
All right! Woo! Let him know! Swing dog, Sweeney! Swing Mike! How are you? Oh, God, I am excited to be here. Is that on? That little movie thing? It is? Can you shut it off? Thanks. I want it on hot coffee. I gotta do this, because I'm all excited.
I rattle off the names. Let me tell you real quick. If you want to go and have a little reunion or whatever, there's a good opportunity to do that coming up. February 24th and 25th, she'll be appearing, Carrie Louise, along with other people, down at Nick's Comedy Stop in Randolph, Massachusetts. That's, how far is that?
About 15 minutes.
Okay, Carrie will give you directions. I'm going to tell you all the other comics. I'd like you to just sort of applaud for all of them or some of them. First of all, Eric Arnold. He was a ways back. Greg Dalton-Kay, Francis DiMenno, the wrong hero, right there, and Gary Goldman. And of course, saved the best for last, didn't we? Carrie Louise. Let's hear it for her one more time. Let her know. My name is Mike Sweeney. I'm putting together, I'm going to be doing Dick Doherty's Comedy Vault tomorrow night. That's just down on the Boston Common. Maybe come out and check me out. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be from now on out. But this has been the Boston Comedy Launch, our first go. Thank you very much for having us, and enjoy the rest of the semester. And please get out and see some comics here in Boston, because this is the place to see them. Thanks a lot. Good night.